Hello and welcome. I know y'all missed me. I know. Yeah, I'm back. And look, I'm here to talk about something very close to home. College is a scam for certain
Hell
people.
no, nigga. I'm out of here.
Hear
That's
me
some
out.
fuck shit.
Certain
Hell no.
people. When I say that, I'm not talking about the ones who are trying to be the doctors, physicians, all those type of medical things in the world. Please, we need more of that. Please keep doing you. This message is not to you. This is for those who have a dream. This is for those who have a passion and still choose to listen to what their parents, their friends, family, whatever the case may be, to determine what they should be in life. Fuck them. Little rude, I know, but hear me out. I was let me see. Let me actually take a little time for this. A year back, I decided to drop out my performing arts degree. I'm not gonna say what school it is because too many people gonna try to search my database, and I'm like, I don't really want that. But I was going to this community college, okay? And for a while, I thought that's what I wanted because I was told that's what I should have wanted. Like, oh, Corey, this is before, the ego kicked in, but Corey, I could see you as a teacher. Corey, I could see you as a Broadway performer. Corey, I could see you as this, that, and the third. All these fucking bullshit ass titles for myself. And I'm like, well, I never even saw this in myself, right? But regardless, I was pursuing that degree. And for a while, it was cool. For a while, it was cool. I was getting the feel of just leaving high school and still being able to get that school workflow. It was nice. But then I realized something. I don't need this for my dream. It took a while to actually understand that. It took a while to actually feel that way. But after some time passed, I realized I am a lot more than what these college transcripts are going to ever paint for my life. Professors would always ask me like, "Oh, what do you see yourself doing with this degree?" And I'm like, "Oh, Broadway," because I'm like that's what they want to hear. They want to work you like a dog every day, every night, so that they see, oh, well, maybe he's got what it takes. But I'm like, no, I already know my potential. I already know that if I wanted to, I could shine. It just took me a while to actually figure out what I personally wanted for that vision to come true. And I'm talking for myself, right? Any art degree, I'm even say, is a little ridiculous. Music theory, that's something you can learn on your own. Who is hiring somebody specifically off of music? Nobody. A lot of the well-known people that you probably listen to never had no college degree. They might have started out in college, but they dropped out. I'm not saying that's going to be my story. I'm just giving an example. And now, back to this performing arts degree, right? I'm in class trying to figure out what's good for me. I'm having to take these theater courses, and they're cool, right? They're cool for what they are, they're fine. But it's like, I would do so much. I would set the template for everybody for so long. It got so boring. Like, everyone's watching me to see what I do. And when I finally shift that attention towards somebody else, people are like, oh, well, I'm a little bored now. Yeah, I know you are because I'm not the one narrating the story now. I had this one professor, I'm not going to say her name, but woo, she was somebody who I thought had a lot of credibility. I was like, oh, okay. She came from this, that, and the third. Her professor was kind of, so I'm like, all right. Hopefully the apple doesn't fall too, fall too far from the tree. Such a tongue twister, but hopefully that's not the case. Turns out it was because she would have us do these breathing exercises, having us, our bodies going like, breathe in, breathe out, and doing all these ridiculous ass performances just with starting the class started to get bored. The only reason why I continued doing it is because I had the common decency to not just be like, yeah, screw this class, right? It even got to the point where she would make fun or degrade other students for not, putting up with that. There were students that would show up late, and instead of just pulling them aside and be like, hey, what's going on? Like, is there anything I can do to help you? It would be, um, if you're late again, there's going to be consequences. And I'm like, girl, that only applies to certain people. So you trying to call out the whole class is not doing anything for you. Or me. Or me. And so I had to realize, like, yeah, I had to just keep doing my thing. She's not going to call me out. No, I brought the party to the class. That's ridiculous to say, but it's coming from me, so you know it's going to be some real shit. And so, right, I'm doing these interpretive dances, thinking I'm going like, doing my thing, right? But the whole time I'm like, how is this going to help me? How is this going to help me? We're doing this every single class, and then on top of that, we're doing extra dancing projects that are similar to the warm up, but are also different in their own way. But don't talk because you have to be absorbed in the mind of a performer. What bullshit is that? That is bullshit. I'm gonna say it here, right now, right here. That is bullshit. If you truly want to be a performer, you don't need no goddamn college degree, no piece of paper to tell you that. You got your high school diploma. That's all you need. Do what you want to do. There were multiple times, right? I had auditioned for a show, obviously get the part, but I didn't want it because I'm like, I don't like the directors. I don't like the people I'm working with. They kind of smell, and quite frankly, I don't want to be your friend. But because of who I am, I'm forced to make a couple friends with people, or at least acquaintance. And I'm like, no, you people don't deserve that. You people are assholes to everybody who doesn't follow your niche, right? Perfect example. I had one of my boys, right? I mentioned him in the previous story. He was the one I met at the little Indian restaurant. Cool ass dude, cool ass boy. You know what I'm saying? He been in the community college slums for a while, and I just got the tail end of it because he graduated, he's good to go. But I'm like, people would talk shit about him behind his back, and bring it up to me, be like, oh yeah, I don't like this person because yeah, he or she is weird or makes me feel uncomfortable. But I'm like, well, why do you think telling me that is gonna help? I'm not here to police how you feel about somebody. Quite frankly, I don't care. So the fact that you are coming to me about your problems, I really don't care. Simply. And you could say, oh, well, you could have signed up for different programs so to get your name out there. But those programs were also run by the same shitty professors and classmates who didn't know what they were doing, but wanted to act like they knew what they were doing when they were running on coffee, breath, and adrenaline. I ain't got time for that. I never had time for that, and nor will I ever have time to listen to what somebody else has to say about my dream. My dream wasn't ever going to get fulfilled at that school, and I knew that. My dream was bigger than that, and it couldn't be filled out on a transcript. And I saw, you know what I'm saying? Like, college is so funny because you'll see all these degrees that they try to push, like videography, audio and engineering. And they'll be like, oh, because you want to be a content creator? This is where you start. But it's like, you still have to take other classes, other courses. It's not just that one major. No, my boy, it's a whole college thing. It's a whole run. And so, as somebody who already knows what they want and already knows that they're not going to get that from the typical college route, why would I just spend all that time knowing that I'm destined for something greater? And that, again, doesn't just speak for me, but but anyone who has a creative output. One of my boys, he's making a movie. It's called Turf. I didn't want to be in it. I didn't have to be. But I still respect what he does because he said, well, this school isn't really giving me much. So how about I set my own template? So shout out Amazy. That's the boy. That's the boy. And I will always support people who understand and aren't blind to the fact that college doesn't give you shit. You spend 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, however many years in college to get a paper and still no job. That makes no sense to me. Why would you set yourself up for failure like that? I had an old coworker of mine. She's like 29 with an education degree. At first, I was looking at her like, oh, wow, you can go to college at any age. Like, that's pretty cool. And, you just happen to end up at this job. Like, that's pretty cool. But then I realized she didn't know what she was fucking doing. And I still had to be there for her shortcomings. I'm like, I don't deserve to be through that. I don't deserve to have to pick up somebody else's mess. No, sweetie. You figure that shit out yourself. Simply. And so, the idea of pursuing a college degree to me, in my personal circumstances, is bullshit. Because it's not going to validate what I already know. I know I'm a capable ass person. I don't need no paper to validate that for myself. But moving forward, that doesn't change how other people feel about college. And when you're already at a university, you better wrap it up. That's it. Whatever you pick with, you're stuck with that debt. Oh, my bad. You got FAFSA because you lied your way through that. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I forgot. You're better than me now. You're better than me. You better than me. You got a FAFSA, so you're better than me. Yeah. Except, how are you going to pay that? Because you still don't have a job and you're broke. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. This is Coreo talking. I'm not going to just sit here and put up a front. Hang on. I got to see how long we've been recording. Oh, shit. 7, 12 minutes. Oh, yeah. We still got more to say. All right. Second point I want to make. Relationships in college. So surface level. Everybody wants to network. Everybody wants to make it seem like they're better than who they are, but they're all in the same place. How are you networking with the people that you see on the regular? Ain't no networking. That's just living the same limbo. No, I don't want to do that. That's ridiculous. That's incredibly dumb. And then, let's say a lonely scout like yourself sees a beautiful, attractive guy or girl that you want to pursue. Well, too bad, bucko, because she or he is too focused on their education to give a fuck about a relationship. So they just try to hammer it in. But I'm like, okay, so then don't claim you want something when your actions say otherwise. One of my coworkers is even graduating. My ex-coworkers, I should say. They graduated, and I'm like, wow, good for you. I don't give a shit. You're still working here. That doesn't validate me, you, or anybody. I got everything I got without a college degree, and you're still in the same place I am. So, what does that say about, first, the job, and secondly, you? Not much. And I realized, trying to find a purpose in your degree is not going to do you any justice. The degree is really just the jumping point to get you to where you want to be. But it's like I've said, if you already know where you want to be, that's irrelevant. That's pointless. That's stupid. Why would you set yourself up like that? It doesn't make sense to me. So, yeah. Am I mad? Am I sad that I'm not going to have, this nice little bachelor's degree on my belt of accomplishments? No, because I don't care. That's not what I need to succeed. I was just going to be a piece of paper. Nobody cares about your piece of paper, Becky. Nobody cares. Do you know how to eat? Do you know how to cook? Do you know how to file your taxes? Do you know how to pay your mortgage? Do you know how to pay your rent? Do you know how to manage your finances? Do you pay your bills on time? If the answer to any of those questions is no or shut up. I should slap you. Shut up. You don't know anything. But you put on this mask as if you do. Even people in my family got degrees and still don't know what they're talking about. Oh, you graduated. Cool. But you're still lame. And you're an asshole to everybody you meet. That doesn't make you higher than me. That doesn't validate your points that you're making. You still might be talking bullshit. You still might be saying some shit that's wild. I might have to call you out. Family or friend. Family or friend. But again, this also goes back to my point. Like, if you're going to college for a doctor type of field or degree that you know is going to make you money, even computers, you know what I'm saying? More power to you. Because you understand that college is bull in that way. But you're still making use out of it. You know that in the long run, this is genuinely what you need. They're going to close you from the door if you don't have this thing. You understand that, and that's okay. More power to you. A lot of my friends are still going to college. They're like, oh, I got midterms, I got finals. And I pity them because I understand that, yeah, that is a very, very, very hard time to be in, and still try to make fun, still try to make plans around your friends. It's challenging, and I don't blame anybody for feeling like that's a lot. I get it, but I'm here to tell you that you don't need anything. You don't need anybody but yourself to validate you. I'm making this video at like 8 o'clock. Does it stop for me? No. Because I enjoy talking. I enjoy yapping. Because I never got a chance to. I can't do this in a classroom setting. Because everybody else got different points they want to make. And I'm like, shut up, shut up, shut up. It doesn't matter. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Oh, well, I want to pursue environmental science. Oh, well, I want to be... Oh, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. Sorry. And I'm saying this out of love. I'm saying this because somebody needs to wake your asses up. Nobody's going to be here to save you. That college degree that you're thinking about, yeah, everybody sees it. Everybody understands what's going on with it. But people around you are just yes men, and they're going to tell you that this is a great decision to make. No, my boy or girl, you got to make that decision yourself. You got to understand what you need and then move from there. You can't wait for somebody to give you the go-ahead to focus on your dreams. Baby, you got to do that yourself. And you'll see the fruits of your labor eventually. It takes time, though. Everybody knows that. Every successful creator knows that. I'm just the one giving it to you slightly PG. But yeah, man. That's basically it. I mean, I do got one more story for you. One more story. I needed to get an English credit, right? And at the time, I was still working I was a barista at a certain company. And so I had to juggle college while also having to juggle this fuck-ass job. And I couldn't do it. My grades started to suffer, and I realized, like, me trying to do everything at once was only hurting myself. So I quit Starbucks. I quit this barista job. Completely. Done. Goodbye, good riddance. Waking up at 4, 5 a.m. for people who don't even know how to open a door is crazy. And I still never got a key. I'm like, bro, y'all wanted me to do all this knowing that I came from, like, this barista position is a position that people around my area, around the world, it's a very known company. So I was able to just transfer to, my new location, no problem. But it got to the point where I was like, why am I doing this to myself? I don't like working here. There's too many people who I have to suck up to, be like, hi, how you doing? When I don't care. Why am I doing this? And so when I quit because I missed one day because I wanted to sleep, I just let her do the paperwork. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. And so, once I was finally able to focus on my education, I started to see the numbers. I was like, yay, all right. I'm doing good for myself. And it's funny too, because when I dropped that class and then picked it back up again the next semester, I had the same teacher. And I wanted to make sure I had the same teacher. Because that was just to prove to myself that I could do this class. It's just I didn't have the time to do it at the time. But it's like, when I took that class for a second time, I realized how pathetic college was. I was like, wow. This woman is just talking her ass off, old as hell, and nobody's listening because they're expecting it to be in the discussion post. They're expecting it to be just in a homework slide. They just want to see what they need to do. Everything's in the syllabus. So then why am I listening to you? It doesn't make sense. Why am I listening to you when you're telling me that everything that I need to know and understand is somewhere else? So what's the point of teaching a lecture if you're not going to actually teach it? Ay caramba, right? That's it, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a like, share it with your friends, and share it with anybody who also needs to know this message. Because this doesn't just go out to family, this goes out to everyone. College doesn't define you. Only you do. All right? With that being said, this has been Coreo from Coreo Productions. Peace.